Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. According to Sky Sports News, Manchester United are finalising a deal to sign Ajax defender Lisandro Martinez. Manchester United have been in advanced discussions with Ajax over defender Lisandro Martinez, and it did say that a deal could be concluded as early as today. Ajax are willing to sell Lisandro Martinez for around 46 million. Lisandro Martinez has already agreed personal terms with Manchester United. Don't forget, Arsenal have been in for him. So there's a very good chance that Lisandro Martinez will be the second signing of this summer and the second signing of the Eric Ten Hag era. If Lisandro Martinez comes to Man United, he'll be reuniting with Ten Hag. Lisandro Martinez has been at Ajax since 2019. Now, I want to give you some more news on Frenkie de Jong. So, according to Fabrizio Romano, Manchester United and Barcelona have reached a full agreement for midfielder Frenkie de Jong. Manchester United and Barcelona have agreed an €85 million fee. Frenkie de Jong recently told Manchester United he wants to stay at Barcelona in a major blow. Not so long ago, Man United staff went to Barcelona to push through a deal for Frenkie de Jong. Recently, Frenkie de Jong and his agent were very angry with Barcelona. I think Frenkie de Jong would address Man United's deficiencies in that midfield. You know, Ten Hag knows the player well because Ten Hag worked with him when he was at Ajax. De Jong has been at Barcelona since 2019. He's under contract with Barcelona until 2026. Barcelona did get him from Ajax. They paid around 65 million. Frenkie de Jong is a versatile midfielder. You know the news regarding Christian Erickson. It said Christian Erickson is set to sign for Manchester United this week. Not so long ago, it said that Erickson was set to undergo his Man United medical shortly ahead of the pre-season tour plan. Revert back to the other week, it said Christian Erickson had verbally agreed to join Man United on a 3-year contract. Christian Erickson, he spent the second half of last season on loan at Brentford. When he signed for Brentford in January, he signed a 6-month contract. Before Christian Erickson played for Inter Milan, he played for Tottenham. He was a very long-serving player at Tottenham. And Erickson also played for Ajax when he was a lot younger. He began his playing career at Ajax. Revert back to Euro 2020, Christian Erickson collapsed because he suffered a cardiac arrest. By the way, Ten Hag also knows Erickson well. Man United have made one signing so far this summer. Man United did sign Terrell Malaysia from Feyenoord. Man United got him for 13 million. Terrell Malaysia signed a contract with the club until June 2026. There's an option to extend for a further year. Terrell Malaysia is a left back. He will replace Tellez because I think Tellez is on his way out of the club. Terrell Malaysia recently made his debut in the game against Liverpool in Bangkok. Manchester United did win that game 4-0. Erik ten Hag won his first game in charge of Man United. But in this transfer window, I do believe Man United are going to make at least another 2 signings. I reckon we need a centre-half, we need a defensive midfielder, and we also need a striker. We've seen players leave Manchester United this year. Not so long ago, Andres Pereira left. Andres Pereira's gone to Fulham. Don't forget last season, Andres Pereira was out on loan with Flamengo. At one point had a loan spell with Lazio. Not so long ago, Man United loaned Dean Henderson out to Nottingham Forest. Henderson's Man United's second choice keeper, doesn't really get in goal. Last season he only made 3 appearances. Back in 2020, Henderson signed a contract with Man United till 2025. Henderson's had loan spells before with Sheffield United. He enjoyed 2 loan spells with them. Before he had loan spells with Stockport, Grimsby and Shrewsbury. Earlier on this year, we saw Lee Grant retire. Matic left Man United this year. Matic went to Roma. Matic is now reuniting with Jose Mourinho. When Matic was at Man United, he was not one of Man United's first choice midfielders, but despite that, it's still being given his opportunities. I always have my reservations about Matic. Matic was a United player for around 5 years. Man United got him from Chelsea back in 2017 in a deal worth 40 million. Recently, Paul Pogba left on a free transfer. Pogba has gone back to Juventus. Earlier on this year, we saw Jesse Lingard leave the club. Jesse Lingard, most of the time at Man United, was classified as a squad player because he didn't get in the team much. Lingard was part of the club for a long time. He came up our academy in that. At one point, he enjoyed a 4-month loan spell with West Ham and he made an impact. Juan Mata, he left Man United on a free transfer. Most of the time when he was at Man United, he was classified as a squad player. He didn't get in the team a great deal. He was a squad player. Mata had a good career at Man United. He was a long-serving player, he enjoyed around 8 years at the club. Man United did bring Mata in under the David Moyes era. We got Mata from Chelsea back in 2014. And earlier on this year, we saw Edinson Cavani leave the club. Edinson Cavani did lose his place in the Man United team when Ronaldo re-signed last year. Cavani had his good games as a United player, had his bad games, he also had injuries. Man United did get Cavani on a free transfer from PSG back in the summer of 2020. So that's who I've seen leave Man United this year. More players are on the way out of the club, like I mentioned earlier. Alex Tellez is on his way out of the club. Tellez has enjoyed a difficult time at Man United. He's been given nowhere near enough opportunities as we expected. But revert back to when we had Rangnick, Tellez appeared to be our first choice left back. That's only because Luke Shaw wasn't available. Man United did get Tellez from Porto. Phil Jones, he's on his way out of the club as well. Phil Jones is not one of Man United's first choice centre-halves. He's only made like 3 or 4 Premier League appearances since January 2020. At one point he was out of an knee injury for a while. Jones has endured around 11 years at Man United, so he's been a long-serving player. His contract at the club expires next year. Tom Eaton, I reckon he'll leave next year. He'll stay for this year as a backup. Tom Eaton, you can say now, he's a second choice keeper, with obviously Henderson going out on loan to Nottingham Forest not so long ago. Man United did get Tom Eaton on a free transfer from Aston Villa. I initially thought Eric Bailly was going to be leaving the club. He's been subject to a lot of transfer speculation. Not so long ago it said that Fulham wanted Eric Bailly on loan with an option to buy, but sources close to the player said that Bailly's not interested in going anywhere. He wants to fight for his place at Manchester United. Bailly's been a good centre-half for the club, but most of the time he hasn't been one of our first choice centre-halves. My only element of concern about Bailly is injury prone. He's got like 2 years left on his contract. Man United got him from Villarreal back in 2016. Paid around 30 million. We brought him in under the Jose Mourinho era. In fact, it was the first signing under the Jose Mourinho era. Harry Maguire, I reckon Man United will sell him next year. He'll stay for this year. Diego Dalot, he's on his way out of the club as well. I think he'll leave next year. He'll stay for this year. Dalot is our first choice right back. Well, he certainly was our first choice right back under Rangnick, and obviously Dalot started the game against Liverpool recently. He's preferred to Wan-Bissaka. Dalot's contract expires next year. At one point, he had a loan spell with AC Milan, so reflecting on that again, some experience. We did get Dalot from Porto. Man United paid around £19 million for him. I think Manchester United need to get rid of Wan-Bissaka because he's not good enough. If he leaves, he'll probably leave next year now. He's been subjected to transfer speculation this year. There's aspects of Wan-Bissaka's game that's got to improve. He's got to show more attacking intent. His position has to improve. His crossing needs to improve. So there you go. But there again, most of the time, Bissaka's been very good defensively. Wan-Bissaka's endured 3 full seasons at Man United. Man United got him in a deal worth 50 million back in the summer of 2019. I think Cristiano Ronaldo is on his way out of the club. I think he'll probably stay this year because he'll want to play under Ten Hag, but I think next year he's going. Eric Ten Hag did recently say though that Ronaldo is in our plans for the new season and isn't for sale. Not so long ago, Ronaldo told Manchester United he wants to leave this summer as he's been unhappy over the lack of progress with transfers, but Man United did insist that Ronaldo wasn't for sale. We set an asking price for Ronaldo of around 13 million. Ronaldo's not on pre-season tour at the moment due to family issues. Not so long ago, he missed quite a few days of training. There's been clubs in for Ronaldo. Not so long ago he was offered to Chelsea. As far as I know, Chelsea's still in for him. Bayern Munich have been in for him. Barcelona have made inquiries. Now PSG have been in for him. Roma have been in for him. His former club Sporting Lisbon have been in for him. So there you go. Ronaldo's contract at Manchester United expires next year. There's an option to extend for a further year. He's the highest earner at the club at the moment. He earns £480,000 a week. Man United re-signed Ronaldo last year from Juventus. Since Ronaldo re-signed, he's got 18 goals in the Premier League. He has 24 goals in all competitions. Earlier on this year, he won the Goal of the Season award and he got named the Sir Matt Busby Player of the Year. Ronaldo's got a very good pedigree as a player. He's won over 30 trophies, including 5 Ballon d'Ors. Marcus Rashford, you know, he could leave next year if he doesn't pick up form and doesn't stop getting injuries and that. Rashford is a good young player overall, but for me he's not been the same player since he had that operation on his shoulder. He missed the first 2 months of last season with that shoulder problem. Rashford made it clear this year that he wants to stay at Man United. He did reject a move to Tottenham. His contract at Man United expires next year. And Axel Tuanzebe, is he on his way out of the club? You know, last season he was out on loan with Aston Villa. He enjoyed like 3 loan spells with Aston Villa. And I think Lindelof and Fred could be on the way out of the club next year. So there you go. Erik ten Hag is Manchester United's manager. Like I said earlier on in the video, he recently won his first game in charge of Man United because Man United did beat Liverpool 4-0. I've got a lot of faith in Ten Hag. I really think he can get Man United competing again. He's a good manager. You've got to admire what he did at Ajax, you know, because at Ajax he won Eredivisie titles, he won Dutch Cups, and revert back to 2019, he got Ajax to the Champions League semi-finals. And that. So Ten Hag was the Ajax manager for around 5 years. Before, Ten Hag managed Utrecht, Bayern Munich's reserves and Go Ahead Eagles. Don't forget, this is the first time Ten Hag is experiencing the Premier League, and as you all know, the Premier League is totally contrast to the Dutch League. Earlier on this year, Ten Hag got officially appointed in as the new Man United manager. You know, Ten Hag's got a contract with the club until 2025. There's an option to extend for a further year. He is Man United's 5th permanent manager since Ferguson. Mitchell van der Gag and Steve McLaren are working alongside Ten Hag. And put into the equation, Ten Hag is inheriting Deadwood. Earlier on this year, we saw Ralf Rangnick leave the club. So obviously, he said that Rangnick would not take up the consultancy role at Man United. Rangnick did get appointed in as a new head coach of Austria. Ralf Rangnick was Man United's interim manager for around 5 months. He only enjoyed one transfer window as Man United's interim manager and unfortunately didn't get backed in this year's January transfer window. There's 5 managers have left since Fergie. That's Moyes, Van Gaal, Mourinho, Solskjaer and Rangnick. Last season, as you all know, Man United enjoyed their worst ever Premier League season in terms of points, because last season Man United finished on just 58 points and last season Man United finished 6th. Man United are in the Europa League for the upcoming season. The last time Man United won the Premier League was back in 2013. That's almost 10 years ago now. Man United have won 20 titles, 13 of them are Premier League titles. The Glazers, they've been one of the biggest issues at the club for a long time. For a while, the vast majority of Man United fans were protesting against the Glazers. Earlier on this year, the Glazers taken out 11 million for dividends. The Glazers have owned the club for a long time. They've owned Man United for around 17 years. They bought the club for 500 million back in 2005. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you with. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care, God bless, and I'll see you all again very, very soon.